Hello! In this video, I will show you how to use inventory module. This module helps you with gathering information from endpoints about hardware, software. You can attach licenses to software that is installed on the computer, and you can organize assets of your organization. This module works with agent because in order to get a lot of detailed information about hardware and software, we have to install agent to gather that data from computers. How to install agent? First of all, you have to go to tools that are located here and then click Install nVISION Agent icon. In this window, you can configure agent installation once again. In this window, you can configure agent installation package. First of all, you can add IP address of AXENCE nVISION server. It will be done automatically for you, but in case you would like to change it, let's say for DNS address, you can do that here. And then after generating package, you can install it in several different ways. First of all, you can use Active Directory GPL policies or distribute it with use of antivirus management console on workstation or even on network share or on a flash drive if you'd like to install nVISION on, let's say, individual computers instead of doing mass installation on all computers at the same time, let's say with the use of Active Directory. AXENCE nVISION installation process will be described in another separate video, so I won't be going into details here. So for now, let's close that window and let's go back to the main console of AXENCE nVISION. In my installation of AXENCE nVISION, I have already prepared a computer with agent installed. So right now we'll move and to Agents tab and we'll find that computer here. Right click on it and go to device info. And here, even without any kind of additional configuration, we already see a lot of data about CPU usage, RAM usage, and system disk usage. So we have performance statistic of this endpoint. And another basic information like uptime, downtime of this machine and network interfaces. But when we go to another tabs, the clear distinction between devices without agent and with agent will be clear for you, because when we go to hardware, we have a lot of data that wasn't available for devices without agent, because we have information about every component that is located in this specific endpoint. And thanks to agent, we were able to gather such information from this workstation. And as you can see right now, we have several tabs in hardware because we have general. So basically this is a window in which you will see all components and all important information about those components in one view. So let's say you'd like to see the most fundamental data about this specific endpoint. You can go to hardware, general, and you will see that in form of the one window. But let's say that you'd like to know more about memory that is stored on this computer. How to check more detailed information, because here we have the most important ones like total memory and available memory. You can go to the details tab, and in details you will find a lot of details about every component that is in this computer. So when we go to the memory, you will see that besides of total memory and available number of memory, we have much more information like number of physical slot or sockets, or even data about virtual memory and the type of this component, and a lot of more like monitors, video controllers, input devices. Let's say every information that you'd like to know about this computer with agent installed will be presented here in the details view. The next tab is related to connected devices. This feature is from DataGuard module, so we will talk about it later in the next videos. Operation audit is related to DataGuard, so we'll omit that feature for now, but let's move on to history. In this window, you will find history of changes that happened related to components that are in this computer. This statistic is crucial if it comes to security. First and foremost, you will be informed about any operation that was done on components that are stored on this computer. So let's say servicing actions that were done by IT operators. So that's normal, but you can always check if those operations were planned and they were authorized, and people who were doing those changes had proper privileges to doing such activities on those endpoints. Another case. Let's say that user one day decided to take some memory out of his computer, or even worse, a hard drive, because they decided that they needed that additional memory in their lives, in their private spaces, in their private computers, due to, let's say, new release of some software that they private computer can't handle. Unfortunately, such cases are happening on daily basis in many organizations. So in case that the user decides to do something like that, and this kind of a situation is obviously an incident, you will be automatically informed about that fact. That is crucial, especially taking into consideration changes related to hard drives, because hard drives store information, and this information can be confidential, can have serious value to the organization, and could be critical organization asset. So in such cases, it's mandatory to be informed about changes related to such components. And to be automatically informed, you in AXENCE nVISION, you can set alert that will send you an email in case of such situation happens, or send you a direct message on your mobile phone. To do that, as you probably remember from the previous videos, we have to go to alerts, and in alerts we have to set an event related to hardware inventory change, and execute following action and choose action that we'll do immediately after such event being discovered. So in this case, we can be informed on email, text message on mobile phone, and many more, even syslog message that can connect AXENCE nVISION to systems that are responsible for analyzing logs from many devices and systems. And we are back in the view of the endpoint that I was showing you earlier. So let's move on to another tab called software. In the software window, you will find information about any application that is installed on this computer. Applications are divided to two categories: audited applications and non-audited ones. Audited applications are applications basically that you have to pay for, and you have to connect them with licenses. So basically you include them in audit process. In this specific window, I'm presenting you a list of applications from one computer, this endpoint. But later in assets, I will show you a view in which you are able to see applications and licenses connected to it from many computers in the one view. So you will be able to see if you have enough licenses for the software that you have to pay for and it's installed on computers. The next category of applications that can be found in this window is called non-audited applications. And basically those applications are applications that you don't have to pay for. Usually they are free, you don't have to attach licenses to it, and because of that you don't have to include them in audit process from the perspective of licensing. But it's very important to know what kind of a software is installed on computer, and especially in which versions. AXENCE nVISION can recognize applications based on template system. In our solution, there is included template system that compares files and registry entries that are stored on a computer, and with this comparison, it can recognize if specific application is audited or non-audited one. So when there is a template, AXENCE nVISION will move application automatically to proper category. When there is no template, let's say there is some kind of a specific tool or application that AXENCE nVISION can't recognize, it will move it to unknown applications, and then with couple of clicks you are able to categorize it manually and put it to proper category. The last thing that I would like to show you from the perspective of one endpoint is called files. In File Manager, you are able to move files from your computer to the computer of user in a couple of clicks. Basically, just click on a file, click copy, and this file will be moved from your computer to the computer of user. This feature is very useful on daily basis and will save you a ton of time. Another feature in Files tab is called Custom Files. In this window, you are able to see structure of files that are stored on the computer of a user. That's very useful, especially in combining that feature with performance statistics about hard drive usage. Because after creating performance counter for amount of hard drive space that is left on specific hard drive that you decided to monitor, you will be automatically informed. Let's say if the number of free space is going up to the limit set, let's say for 90% of a hard drive free space on a disk. And after detecting such event, you can go to custom files and see files that are stored on this hard drive. Files will be put to separate categories related to archives, movies, music, and you can of course create your own categories and put files to specific categories based on their extensions. The key thing to check is to check if user doesn't have a lot of music and movies stored on his or she's computer, because in such case, if it's not marketing department, the question is if those files are legal. And with this feature, you can even check files as legal or illegal ones with right-clicking and marking those as legal or illegal, and you can even delete files remotely from the computer of user. Okay, let's move to another view. Right now we'll close window related to this computer. Of course, as you see, we have many more tabs here, but we will be discovering those in later videos. Now I would like to show you views in which you are able to see components of different computers in one view, because as you saw right now we were seeing one computer at the one time, but we will move on and see a view in which you are able to see components from many computers at the same time. So the first view in which you can do that is called hardware, and it's located here. So basically we are click it right now, and as you can see on the left side we have list of network maps that you are already familiar with, and based on that you are able to choose specific network map as in this example and see every components that are stored on computer with AXENCE nVISION agent installed on them. And with that feature I'm able to see in one view every computers from specific part of the network, department or custom map, every component of such computer, and I'm able to filter it out that view, sort it, and save it for later. So right now I'm in the default view, it's called basic, and let's say I'm planning purchases related to processors and memory, and I would like to see such components in one view. To do that, I have to click this icon, and I have to filter it out information that I really need in this kind of report. So right now, let's click it out and leave only processor and memory. I unchecked information about computer, but we will need that. So here we have a device and the list is finished. And right now, as you can see, I'm able to detect devices, their processor and memory from specific parts of my network, and with that I'm able to plan purchases in better way because I'm able to detect computers with available memory or total memory in one place. And this view can be saved for later. So I can choose this icon here, save it, and then it will be presented in drop-down menu. From this list, I will be able to choose specific view. Basically, just click that view and we'll see only components that I saved in this view that I filtered out for my needs. And that's all for today's video. I showed you how with AXENCE nVISION agent gather data about hardware, software that is stored on the computers, how to generate alerts based on changes, and how to generate views for many devices at the same time. In the next video, I will show you how to, based on data gathered from agent, generate so-called assets. Assets that can be described with custom fields, with documents that can be attached to such assets, and many more. So see you in the next video.